Hello everyone, I want to welcome you to a quick tour of our audit shop here at Salt Lake County Auditor's Office. My name is Chris Harding and I am your Salt Lake County Auditor. I have to admit I love election season. Every election year it seems like every office or politician or person running for government joins our little choir to sing the praises of transparency and accountability. Unfortunately, once the election is over, that choir tends to get a little smaller. But transparency and accountability shouldn't be just a campaign slogan. These are things that we should practice every single day. So, today I want to show you one of the ways that our office is helping Salt Lake County residents keep an eye on their county government, see what our auditors are finding, and most importantly, see whether these problems are actually getting fixed. Okay, so it's no shocker. We're the auditor. We do audits. If you click on Audit Services Division and come down here, you can scroll through all of our audits. These last few we've issued are preliminary or secondary follow-up audits. You can come in here and find an original audit, click on it. You can look through the summary, kind of a high-level overview of what we found. You can dive right into an audit and read a 41-page audit. That is great, but it's also a little bit intimidating. When I took office, I wanted to find a better way to make that information more accessible because we issue like 10 to 20 audits every year. This is 2026. If you scroll down here, you can look at what we did in 25. You can look at what we did in 24. There's a lot of stuff. So enter the audit dashboard. This is where, if you come into the Audit Services Division, click on the Audit Recommendations dashboard. The dashboard will load up here. Instead of requiring you to read every audit report, this dashboard allows you to see what our auditors have found and track what county agencies have actually done about it. Since I took office in early 2022, our office has completed 50 audits containing more than 874 recommendations. And we are tracking those recommendations right here. This first page gives you the big picture view. You can view the number of audits we've completed, see the recommendations we've made, and how those recommendations are progressing. You can, on this next tab, you can kind of view the implementation by status. You'll notice we have about 5 categories. Fully implemented, this is the best. This is where we've found a risk, we've made a recommendation, and the department has implemented it and mitigated that risk. Not evaluated means that enough time hasn't passed for us to go in there and do the follow-up work, so it's kind of a yet to happen thing. Then we've got implementation progress. We've done the initial audit, made a recommendation, we've waited the allotted amount of time, generally about 6 months. Now we've gone in there and looked at what they've done, and for a particular recommendation, maybe they've started work on it. We told them, hey, make a policy about this area. Maybe they didn't have segregation of duties going, and we said make a policy talking about segregation of duties. Maybe they're midway through that, but they don't have it completed yet. Then there's the closed status. That's just where we've made a recommendation and it's changed. The facts have changed. Maybe they've bought new software, a new system, and the risk that we identified is kind of a moot point. So we close that. And then lastly, the not implemented. This means that meaningful correction action hasn't taken place, and the risk we identified still exists. Those are the one that's the one we'd prefer not to happen, but sometimes it happens, and you know what? That's management's prerogative. They can accept the risk and management however they see fit. Our next tab kind of shows you the acceptance versus implementation rate. When we make a recommendation and the division or department accepts that and agrees to it, that's what factors into this acceptance rate. The rate of implementation is how quickly they make those fixes. Then there's the detail by agency. This is where you can look at by a specific audit report that you might be tracking issues, or by a specific agency. This is great. I love this. The clerk, they are always quick to implement our recommendations. We've made 28 recommendations 24 of them have been fully implemented, and 4 have been closed. Again, remember, closed means that something has changed. The risk is kind of, and the finding for that matter, or recommendation, is kind of a moot point. This is a great one. This recommendation in the audit report that we did, an audit of the Salt Lake County Clerk's Office of interlocal election agreements. This is where we went and looked at the agreements, like, because we run the municipal elections, or I should say the clerk's office runs the municipal elections in the odd numbered years. And this finding right here, our auditors found that there was a not to exceed clause in the agreements between the county and, say, South Jordan, where I live. For example, this is just me pulling numbers out of thin air. But say, like in South Jordan, to run the municipal elections, our clerk's office in the past was saying, hey, this will cost $100,000. By the time everything was said and done, maybe that election cost $120,000 to run. The old way they were doing it, we would, as a county, we would just eat that extra $20,000. When we made the recommendation, hey, take this not to exceed out, we should be billing the municipalities for the actual costs that we incur. The clerk agreed to that. She implemented it. As you can see here, that they've changed the way their contracts are written. That finding alone saves the county about $500,000 every other year. This next screen, again, just further way to display this data by implementation status. This one, again, you can break it out by year, if there's a particular year, again, or the agency, and then the implementation status. Report dates. This will give you the actual language in each of the reports that you can look at. That if you wanted to look at, say, the financial audit of Salt Lake County Council, you can see all the recommendations we've made. You can see the ones that are fully implemented, what our recommendations were, what the council did. And then lastly, this screen shows you our follow-up audits. As we do an audit and we issue recommendations and findings, we generally allow about 6 months to pass, and then we issue and we go through and we do a follow-up audit and we see how the agency has done. Well, this allows you to see the original audit, the follow-up audits, and even the secondary audits if we've needed to. Generally, if they've made all the corrections they need to in that initial audit, that initial follow-up, we don't do a secondary audit, a secondary follow-up. And then these new ones, these ones done in 2026, like I said, we generally allow 6 months to pass so they can make their corrections